Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal.
Good morning, sir. Can I help you?
Well, I wanted to buy a car. This is a car dealer's, isn't it?
Indeed it is, sir.
It's just I didn't see any cars outside on your forecourt, and you don't seem to have any in here.
No, sir. We don't display them anymore. You just tell me what you're looking for, and I'll see what we can come up with. What do you want it for?
For getting from one place to another?
Well, yes, they all do that, sir. Did you have anything particular in mind?
Well, we need a family car, so possibly a...
I'll have to stop you there, sir. We mustn't use the word family, as it makes a reference to whether you might have children or not, and that might be considered discriminatory towards people who don't.
Oh, really? OK, so it's got a seat 4. Actually, I quite like the look of the new Volvo.
We can't differentiate between makes anymore, sir. We might be seen to be giving an advantage to one manufacturer over another.
Oh, God, this isn't going to be as easy as I thought. Well, we need a 4-seater, and we don't want to spend too much, so we were thinking more on the lines of getting a used one.
The used ones are not necessarily cheaper than the new ones these days. What sort of budget did you have in mind?
Oh, I don't know. We were thinking about £7,000.
Oh, you can't buy one for that anymore. At the moment, you have to pay at least £7,500, but you can volunteer to pay £10,200 for the same car if you want.
Really? Why on earth would anyone volunteer to pay any more than they need to?
Some people do, sir.
Actually, I don't mind if it's new or used, as long as it's not too old.
No. If it's a used one, we can't tell you how old it is, sir. We mustn't be seen to be implying that an older model is somehow inferior to a newer one.
But surely that's a bit daft. I need to know how old it is so I can make sure it's reliable.
Actually, sir, these days the older models tend to be more reliable than the newer ones.
Really? Well, as long as you can assure me there's nothing wrong with it.
No, sir. We can't make any mention of that sort of thing. We couldn't allow you to show a preference for one car over another just because it might be more or less capable of performing.
Well, I'm sorry, but that sounds crazy. Anyway, I'd rather have a white one.
Oh, no, sir. We're not allowed to mention colour these days.
What? So I can't specify the make, colour, whether it'd be big enough to take the kids to school, if it's used, how old it is, and we can't spend less than £7,500, whatever it's like?
Absolutely, sir.
Hang on. You don't work for the CQC or anything, do you?
No, sir. Why would you think that?
Morning, Dr. Fideo. How'd the weekend go? Have any luck finding a car?
First place I went, the salesman seemed to be doing his best to put me off buying anything. So in the end, I bought a new Volvo from the main dealer. My wife's picking it up this morning.
So, what are you doing over Christmas then?
Oh, I don't know. Eating too much, drinking too much and falling asleep in front of the telly, probably.
I'm really looking forward to the Christmas edition of Strictly. You're going to watch it?
What? Strictly Come Prancing? Jesus Christ, no. A load of oiks, they bus in from somewhere ghastly, whooping and yelling because some sequin clown nobody's ever heard of has done a pirouette.
Not a fan then.
Hello, Charlie. What the devil are you supposed to be? An elf or a gnome?
We're all wearing them. It's Christmas, Rufus. Didn't know if you were in today. You've got quite a few days blocked off.
Seems to be an endless round of nativity plays and carol concerts these days. Still, nice to see what the grandchildren have been up to. Nearly got into trouble last year. We had a rather enthusiastic vicar telling us what the Lord had taught us to say as we made the sign of the cross. I leaned across to Bonnie and was just about to whisper when she said, "Rufus, no!"
You do tend to whisper rather loudly, Rufus. What were you going to say?
Spectacles, testicles, wallet and watch. Actually, it's good she stopped me, or the whole congregation would have heard.
I've heard we shouldn't call it Christmas anymore, and some schools are even cancelling nativity plays in case it offends Muslims.
We've never been bothered about offending Jews, Sikhs and Hindus. Don't know why Muslims should be so special. Probably going to have to get 2 microwaves in the staff room eventually, just in case someone is offended at having to use one after someone else has heated up their sausage roll. I read some balmy Iranian cleric has said that if you fantasise about another woman while having sex with your wife, your son will be a homosexual.
But your son's married with 2 children and lives in Bath, Rufus.
Exactly. So how will me fantasising about Theresa May while making love to Mrs. Rufus somehow turn him gay?
You don't fantasise about Theresa May while having sex, do you, Rufus?
No, of course not. More likely to be thinking who I can get to fix the bloody practice roof. Did you see? Greg's had substituted a sausage roll for baby Jesus in their advent calendar.
Really? I can see people might have been offended by that. After all, Christmas is about the birth of Christ, isn't it?
I think my granddaughters would say it's more about sausages.
Don't you believe in the Christmas story, Rufus?
Look, Charlie, put it this way. In those days, having sex before marriage was punishable by being stoned to death. Now, being obviously pregnant is pretty good evidence you've been up to the naughties, so you dream up some story whereby you were visited by an angel and you're still a virgin, really. I mean, come on, it's worth a try. The amazing thing is, not only that your pretty flimsy story was believed at the time, but a whole fucking world religion was subsequently based on it. Actually, you know, Christmas is supposed to be one of the most stressful times of the year.
Yes, I've heard they're using virtual reality to help people suffering from stress.
Really? How's that work then?
Apparently, they put them in a virtual world where they interact with avatars instead of real people.
Sounds like a good idea to me. After a stressful day, I could do with a virtual waiting room where I could go and punch a few patients.
Dr. Fideo? Mrs. Fideo's on the phone. She says, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Oh, go on. Tell her to give me the good news, Millie.
She says to tell you the airbag in the new Volvo works.
Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump.
Look at Frosty go.
Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump.
Over the hills and snow.